Good evening, hola, boa noite. Munson here. It's 10 o'clock in Portugal. Now, what I'm about to read you was meant to be the reading of my Portugal resident article that should have gone out at 8:30 this morning. And I was thinking, this technology is terrible. It's let me down. And then I realized it was a great big fat user error. And it was my fault entirely, wondering why it wasn't going out. It was waiting for me to start the show rather than play a pre-recorded reading, which this would have been. I read this last night and thought I'd set it up ready to roll this morning. And my error, my bad, it didn't work. So I'm going to read it for you now. And I'll have another one for you tomorrow morning at 8:30, 28th of December in Portugal. And this one is something I wrote on the 1st of, or it's published on the 1st of November, 2023. Hope you've had a good Christmas, by the way. This is a live stream. If you want to say hi, that's great. Otherwise, I'm just going to crack on and read this to you in the place of regular live stream output this week, and we'll be back on the 1st of January. So this is called the Power of Now, Portugal as Personal Growth, first published in the Portugal Resident on the 1st of November 2023. When I say I love Portugal, and believe me, I often do, what do I mean? I certainly don't love politics or the increasing sense of social justice. Who does? What I love, I realize, the more I think about it, is the culture. Speaking generally, as I have to here, I love the warmth and kindness of Portuguese people, the reassuring sense of safety, and the absolute treasury of tasty treats. Things said so often by so many that they are in danger of becoming cliches. Lovely, take for granted, all you can eat cliches. It's, of course, no culture comes without its shadows or downsides. Beloved Portugal is no exception to that rule. The dark side, too, is peppered with cliches. On the other side of calm and a slower pace of life is a lethargy that can drain the energy of the keenest newcomer. Then there's the bureaucracy, when admin goes bad, striking like a bacalhau bone in the throat that once said only good things about good life, the good life here. Forgive me for even speaking of these tiresome old tropes, but I do so with good reason. Please bear with me as I will try to explain why what's supposedly bad about Portugal could be good about Portugal. Now, I'm going to cast my mind back here and take you with me. More than a couple of decades ago, I embarked on a life-changing training course in my native London, a weekend event called the Landmark Forum. Among many breakthroughs and revelations that occurred to me over that fateful and ultimately fulfilling few days, albeit as a result of many breakdowns and recriminations, was an understanding of upsets. To this day, it gives me no end of relief to understand that we humans are all almost constantly upset by something or other. To be more specific, and if my memory serves me correctly, thwarted intentions, unexpressed communications, and unfulfilled expectations. As I recall, the course's facilitator claimed that all upsets stem from these three propositions. So I'll read them again. Thwarted intentions, unexpressed communications, and unfulfilled expectations. Consider then for a moment this unholy trinity of chaos catalysts and their prevalence if you are experiencing a great change in location and lifestyle, learning to live in a new country. To feel comfortable and in control, you want to get things done, but you might not know the right way to do them. You want to talk and explain, but you don't speak the local language or understand the subtleties of the new culture. You think things should be a certain way, the way they were at home, where they made sense, of course, but they are not. Upsets can clearly abound, especially in the early days of expatriation. You're not really selling it, Carl, you might say. And honestly, I wouldn't blame you, but I won't lie to you either. Stay with me for what can make you stronger if it doesn't kill you, to coin a phrase. I share this only because, and strangely so, it's another thing I have learned to love about Portugal and hope you will too in time. For the foreigner, Portuguese upset soup can be a prato do dia, especially in the early days. But thankfully, it comes with a healthy side of sunshine with a fragrant, freshly chopped garnish of sympathy. Talk to any Portuguese person, and much of what you're struggling with, they struggle with too. The difference between you and them is that they learnt to swim in these waters and you were just thrown in. It's really not about you. It's not personal. It's cultural. As you thrash around ungracefully against what can sometimes feel like a riptide of negativity, resistance, and lack of cooperation, a Zen Like Calm can be yours if you embrace The power of now, as all true Portuguese can do, with a Jedi-like aplomb, a cultural thing that I suspect was honed throughout Portugal's history with its fertile blend of ocean-going innovation and dictatorial oppression, where you and I, the foreigners, with our imported sense of urgency and entitlement, take a Portuguese pushback personally. We also have an opportunity to transcend and try again later. Remember Bobby O'Reilly? He told Good Morning Portugal viewers back then in November, you have to be patient. That's the first thing. Patience is going to be required here. You may get annoyed and you'll get upset about things, but that's how it is here. From one of the busiest expats I know, this is a hard-won wisdom. No amount of money or force can change a situation that isn't going your way, it seems, under the risk of sounding like Yoda or Eckhart Tolle himself. To be truly happy and prosper here in Portugal, you'll need to change within, not just to rearrange the external features of your life. Some years in, I am at more peace now than I've ever been in my life. Sure, the great lifestyle afforded by Portuguese culture plays a great part in that. Yet something more profound has been at work on me and in me. Portugal has worked her magic, and that culture, which I love so much, that so often seems to say no to my egotistical and impatient desires, has schooled me. I appreciate more the value of surrender and the acceptance of what is. It's easier to seize the day, to be grateful for what you have, when your petty concerns of what you think life should be are gently eased from the white-knuckle grasp of your expectations. You could be forgiven for thinking that you would simply move to another country. What you might not realize is that you have embarked on a personality retraining course, a personal development program that has the potential to level you up, to bring out your personal best, an opportunity where you can help yourself, to self-help in abundance. And I apologize in advance if you thought you'd come here for a quiet or easy life. Few find that to simply be the case. For those who are willing to embrace the magical medicine of migration, new heights of spiritual experience await you, plateaus that can make sense of the lows that few are spared in this almost certainly unsettling and yet potentially ennobling process. Author of Global Self-Help Smash Hit, The Power of Now, the other one, a guide to spiritual enlightenment, Eckhart Tolle said in his life-changing guide, some changes look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. He also said the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. His words leave me wondering if, like J.K. Rowling, he was inspired by time spent in Portugal. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you have, he tells us. Make the now the primary focus of your life. May I add that as sure as it's best to make lemonade when your Portuguese neighbor gives you lemons, when life in Portugal says now to your intentions, your expectations, or communications, take a breath, take a sip of wine even, and whisper to yourself, calma, tranquilo, and try again tomorrow, where a new now hopefully awaits. Now, incidentally, Tolle also said, I have lived with several Zen masters, all of them cats. And me, personally, Carl Munson, now official owner of a Portuguese stray cat. The Power of Meow will no doubt follow in my Portugal-inspired non-fiction self-help series. And you can see there, grateful thanks to Landmark Education and apologies to Eckhart Tolle and his original book, The Power of Now, Unleashing the Power of Patience in Portugal. And just one more reminder, it's not about you. So great to see Martin Templeton. Thank you, Martin. Hope you had a good Christmas. Certainly did. Martin, hope you did too. Igualmente. Merry Christmas. Good morning, Portugal, from Squire of the Shires. Evening, Squire. And I hope you had a good one too. Boas festas to Mr. and Mrs. M and all the Gumpers. Cheers, Tony Medeiros, as well. Thank you, you three, for saying hi this evening. I'll leave it there. And hopefully there'll be another one broadcast in the morning. If not, I'll just jump on again tomorrow evening. And we'll do this again tomorrow evening. So enjoy the rest of this festive perineum, the bit between Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you again soon. And I'm going to play you those memes one more time because I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this wonderful sequence from our Light Up Christmas series, our video advent calendar that we very proudly presented to you from the beginning of December right up to December the 24th. Christmas Eve, and here was the one that we had on the 22nd. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you again soon. Take care. Bye for now and have fun.